Welcome back, class. This video is going to discuss today's entrance ticket questions and answers. It's also going to be a great introduction to this unit to show you some lesson examples and information as to how to build and construct your relief. So here we have the first slide of the PowerPoint. As it says, this is our cardboard relief. You're about to learn what a relief is in a moment. But here are some great examples of what a relief can look like. This image on the far right is of Uncle Sam with the recycle symbol behind him with the phrase, "I want you to recycle." That is not only a relief, which is basically an artwork that raises up from the surface, but it also points out the importance of recycling in today's world and how we can use art to recycle items ourselves by using different found objects that we would otherwise consider trash. Now this is a very heavily detailed artwork. I would not expect anyone to do something like this, not that you can't, but the image on the left is more within the wheelhouse of a typical 8th grader in art class, where this student chose to do an elephant as their main subject, and then they drew a background with a river and stream behind them with full color as well. And what you do is you basically just plan what you want your artwork to be, just like the beginning phases of any art project where you brainstorm, and then you're going to draw, cut, and then maybe even trace and cut again different layers so that they're rising up off your surface of your base sheet of cardboard, so that some layers are lower than others, some are higher, some are in the middle. So depending on your design and how much you want raising up and why, that is going to determine how many times you trace and cut and paste your layers. So I know I just kind of talked about a lot there. I'll break it down in the coming slides. But again, this image on the far left is more within reason for students to complete their project. So going into today's first answer to your entrance ticket, the first question is, what is a relief? And a relief is a sculpture with a raised surface. So feel free to pause this video at this point if you need to write down this definition. You can pause and fast forward and rewind as many times as you need to. But that's the definition for that. We've already seen two examples, and this is a very historical, classic example of a relief. This is a relief made back during the Romans, the time of the Romans, thousands of years ago, where it's depicting these five figures raising out from some kind of marble or stone surface. Now that is very intricate, very difficult to carve that out of stone, but we are simulating that or replicating that concept of relief using just cardboard. It's something that's a basic everyday object to help with recycling and also to make this feasible for students to complete. And then here on the right, this at first might look like a very jumbled image, but if you look closely, it's actually like a forest or woods where you can see all these different layers of trees and branches and even grass and weeds and twigs, things like that. So this is what we're completing. This is just a classic example of what a typical relief looks like. So the follow-up question for your entrance ticket is, how can an artist use cardboard to create a relief? And as I talked about in the first slide, I know I threw out too much too fast, but this slide demonstrates the answer to that question. And the way that we use cardboard to create a relief is just to cut the different layers. So if my mouse right here is layer 0, this is my baseboard, the board that I pile everything onto. Then the first sheet of cardboard I lay on is the first layer. If I lay a layer of cardboard on top of that layer, then you have 2 layers. And then if I lay something on top of that second layer, I have a 3rd layer. And then it can go on and on as high as you want it. You only need 3 layers. That's why I have this image of 3 cardboard pieces there. You only need it to be 3 layers high, but you can do more. Just make sure you don't have less than 3 layers max. And then this image here on the left, this is a great image because this shows how to sketch your cardboard design. This reminds me of the music artist Bob Marley. This could be someone else. I really don't know. My wife looks at this picture and says it's kind of a scary picture to her. But the concept is perfect. It's accurate, where the artist drew in pencil what they wanted, but you can see where they sectioned out different areas to be different layers, and they marked that this, I guess, light tan is the first layer, or I guess that's orange, and then second is like a light brown, that's their second layer, and the third layer is yellow, so that's the part that's going to be raised out the most. So basically today you are going to be drawing your sketch for your cardboard relief, and you want to plan out the shapes, plan out the space of the paper as you would on the relief, and even section and label, color if necessary, if you want to do a color key like this artist here, and just plan out that relief so that today you can walk away with a set plan, and then next class you can actually start creating that final product, measuring, cutting, and then layering your cardboard. All right, so again, you can pause this video and come back to this as many times as you want. And the last slide I just want to go over some lesson examples. Here we have 5 different images, some within reason, some are like this bottom one is absolutely incredibly intricate. Again, not that you can't do this, but I don't expect this bottom right one. I just always like to show you guys how far you can take it. But here you have a relief, or these two reliefs of different subjects, different people and their faces, their portraits, and you can see how some of these they have flat, smooth cardboard. Other parts have recessed cardboard where they peeled away the top layer to show the corrugation or the ridges in the cardboard. That can add texture and variety, which is a great tool, something to be thinking about as you plan your own relief. And then these two over here, we have an image of Shrek from the animated movie where the artist measured and cut different layers and even showed smooth cardboard sections with the rough corrugated cardboard, those ridges, and that can also show different layers in itself, like basically can separate, you know, the section of his jawline to his neck. It's a good way to kind of break up the monotony of the project and help show the different shapes and forms. And lastly, you have this turtle here, where this looks like this one's made on wood. We are using cardboard, not wood. But again, the artist thought of a subject. They drew the environment to help fill the space. I would have liked to seen like some more, maybe some bubbles or some other features in the background here, but that's just me critiquing it. But overall, these are some examples, and you can always research on the internet some more cardboard relief examples that you can find. But ultimately, just think of something that you would enjoy to create, sketch out that design, and submit that photo to today's student progress. So that's it for this video. Just make sure once you finish this video, you complete your entrance ticket for today. And then once you're done that, you should be watching the how to construct a cardboard relief video so you know exactly what to do moving forward. All right, guys, I will talk to you in a little bit, and I look forward to grading your first submissions and seeing what you guys have planned for this project. All right, bye, everyone.